Alright, today's video is going to be from mostly Chen style Taiji Chuan. It's called the Fang Gong. And the biggest thing it kind of helps for is with spine, with the spinal health, getting it to stretch, getting it to open, getting it to be able to have, the fluid and sort of signal flow go through it. It was sort of turned on to me by a friend of mine I used to train with for a while, and she had begun to train a lot with the actual Chen family, like some of the like my generation kind of heads of the family with that. And after my back went, she kind of suggested this, and it's done a really good job for me and a lot of my other Taiji students as well. I have people from varying ages and backgrounds and stuff, and it's been pretty helpful with that. So the Fang Song Go. What we're going to do is, just to preface this, we're going to take, again, breathe with the lower dantians. We're going to breathe in below the navel to the spine, exhale, and push forward. So we're going to breathe in, breathe out. And then what we want to do is, when we're working with the spine, we want to kind of imagine, if we have vertebra and vertebra, and there's that disc in between, we want to try and work on getting that space to kind of do this. So instead of being right on top of each other like this with the disc in between, you get some space in there with that. So that's what we kind of want to work on, the opening and stretching. So we're just going to kind of set ourselves up to begin. Feet shoulder width apart. Knees, when they bend, gently over the toes. So we don't want our knees collapsing in or bending out. We want, if my elbows are my knees and my hands are my feet, we want them right in line with each other here. So we're going to take a moment. Just going to breathe. We're going to do all these for about 3 breaths. So I'm going to breathe in. As I breathe in, bring the hands up the center of the body. We're going to turn the palms over towards the ceiling. Look up, extend the arms up, and almost like pull your hips down so all the space between opens. So we're pushing up and pulling down. Look up as well. And from here, straighten the head, make fists, pull the shoulder blades back and open the chest. It's not necessarily puffing the chest out so much as pulling the shoulder blades back and almost like squeezing the spine. And you should be able to even feel it in the little part of the back, the small of the back, and the lower part too. It's like all the muscles around the spine are wrapping it. From here, relax the arms, push forward, and bend at the waist, bend at the hips. And then this is going to be best able. If you can kind of make yourself an L, this is good. If you can only kind of come here, that's okay. But we don't really want to break the plane being flat. We want to pull the arms out forward and the tailbone and the hips back. We're going to release the arms. Bend the knees and just roll up. Good. From there, we're going to lift up the wrists like they're being pulled by strings, elbows down. Flip your left hand over. Bring your right hand around the head. Without collapsing the knees or anything, keep the knees over the toes. We're going to twist to the left best you can. The idea is to get the hand all the way back directly behind you and bring the head back. And we're going to come back to center and release. Now what we're going to do is our arm's almost going to be like a flag in the wind. I'm going to roll with my shoulder, bring up my tricep, my elbow, my forearm, my wrist, my hand, my fingers, and release. But we want it to be nice and smooth like a flag. So roll the arm out and let it release. Roll the arm out and release. So shoulder, tricep, elbow, forearm, wrist, hand, fingers, down. One more each side. Up and out and roll. And like I always say, what you do to one side, you do to the other. So we're going to again lift the wrists up, flip the right palm, left hand guards the head, twist to the right. Again, keeping the knees and the feet lined up. Try and get right behind you and head back. Back to center. Let the arms come down nice and slow. Again, same thing we did before with the other arms, like a flag, but we're going to start with the right. So roll the right shoulder, tricep, elbow, forearm, wrist, hand, fingers, and release. Other side. One more each side. Good. So we're going to bring the fingers up behind the head, tuck in the chin, gentle pressure on the head to extend the space between each vertebrae. We're going to roll down. Again, bend best able. So if you're only able to kind of come here comfortably or safely, that's fine. We're going to try and kind of jackknife the best you can. Release the hands, bend the knees, Roll up, stacking the spine. Come up. I'm going to go back. Actually, I kind of skipped one on accident. It's been a few weeks since I taught this, so we're going to go back and do that one now. I'm going to dip to the left. Again, all this upper body nice and relaxed. I'm going to roll forward to the other side and roll back. Head, neck, arms, shoulders, chest, nice and relaxed. So see how my arms are kind of just rolling as I twist my torso. I'm going to do one more going this way. Oh. Back around and roll up back to center. Now a lot of times might be some other people that might go from one side directly to the other. I personally need to take a moment to kind of recenter all the inner ear stuff, because sometimes this one, if I do too much or I go one to the other too quickly, I start actually getting like car sick almost. I want to go to the right now and forward and around, back. That's one. Coming around. Here's two. One more. And roll up. I'm going to take my moment. And we're going to dip to the left. It's going to be like we're planting our left hand into the ground, palm forward. The right hand extends almost like fingers into the ceiling. Both palms forward. Should feel this all through the lats, that sort of wing muscle, even into the hip. Okay, what the right hand's going to do now is just we're going to release like we're strumming a guitar. Just let it go. Strum and resettle. We're still going to stay on this side. And set back to center. Moment to reset. And then to the right. Right palm plants down, left palm, or fingers plant down, left fingers plant up, both palms forward. Again, opening up the side, the obliques here, the ribs, the lat in the back. Left hand now, release, strum forward, let it resettle. And we're going to straighten back up. Right. Penultimate one here. I'm going to reset the camera, as it were. So what we're going to do first is we're going to be about shoulder width. Again, we're going to bring the hands up center like we did for the first one. But as we bring the fingers up into the ceiling, lift up on the balls of the feet. This one's going to be definitely a best able. We're going to take the fingers, lock them behind the head again, tuck the chin, and we're going to roll down, squat down. And when you get to your best able level, set your heels down. So if you're up here or something with that, that's fine. You want to be down because this gentle pressure on the head should be able to be felt all the way through the tailbone. And just breathe. Don't forget to breathe. Release the hands. I have to kind of readjust my feet a little bit here or there as I do this. And I'm going to push up with my feet. Stay reaching down center. I like to kind of keep my hands locked with this. It helps as we go with the next part here. I'm going to reach down center. And from here, I'm going to rotate and twist over the left leg. Keeping the knees over the feet so I'm not collapsing in or anything, or not bowing out, but keeping my legs in line. And twist over the right leg. And back over center. See if you can get a tiny bit further down than you were when we were down here earlier. Just a little bit more. And roll up. Nice and slow. Stack the spine. Head, neck, arms, shoulders nice and relaxed. So where your shoulders and arms are, with no tension, as you bring up and stack your spine and raise your head, when you bring your shoulders in line with your hips, this is where your shoulders should be. You know, as a man in 20th, 21st century West United States, I was taught it's got to be like this. All that does is bring tension, too much energy in by the heart and the lungs, and even up into the brain, anxiety, lung problems, heart disease, tension, hypertension, blood pressure, all that other stuff. Too much stuff gets built up. Let it sink, let it relax. So we got one more here. What we're going to do is put your right foot out 45 degrees. So if this is like the heel, my foot heel. These are my fingers. So this is 90-degree angle here. So a square, half of that. So if my toes are straight, I'm pointing out that way. There's your geometry. And lift your left knee, point the toes into the other knee. So it's not just lump, have actual little angle with that. You can keep your hands loose here, or on your hips, or on the dantian if you want. Might be harder because your arm will be resting on your leg, so hips are fine, or just to the sides. And release the leg nice and slow. Set the foot down again, 45 degrees, and other side. One leg might be a little better than the other, either for the flexibility up into the hips or for the vestibular balance. One of the things we're doing is there's a lot of little nerve clusters, including called the bubbling wells, 3 points on the foot. And the little motion that we're doing as you're keeping your balance is hitting and massaging those, helping the nervous system throughout the rest of the body. And down. Bring the legs back together. And that, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, meine Damen und Herren, Mesdames et Messieurs, Fang Gong, or sort of a little bit modified. I did kind of swap a couple of the order of it a little bit, just because it slipped my mind. Happens. And so, good for the spine, good for the health, and yeah, definitely take care of the spine.